What if I told you that a blind date gone wrong could change a man's life forever? A doctor walked away, a paralyzed CEO was left broken, and no one expected him to ever smile again. But what happened next will leave you speechless. Before we dive into this unbelievable story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because this is one story you'll never forget. The evening had started like any other Friday in the city, neon lights flickering across tall glass buildings and the constant hum of traffic echoing below. For most people, Friday nights were about unwinding, laughter, or love, but for Adrian Cross, they were about loneliness. Once the most powerful CEO in the region, Adrian had built his empire from the ground up. But fate was cruel. A devastating car accident had left him paralyzed from the waist down. Overnight, the man once admired for his sharp stride and commanding presence became confined to a wheelchair. His world shrank, his trust faded, and the smile he once wore for cameras and boardrooms had long disappeared. Yet tonight, against all odds, he had agreed to something unusual, a blind date. His assistant had arranged it secretly, insisting that maybe companionship could heal where medicine could not. Adrian rolled into the lavish rooftop restaurant, his tailored suit pressed to perfection, his expression a careful mask. He hated the stares he caught, people pretending not to look at the powerful man in a wheelchair. He wanted to believe he didn't care, but deep down, every whisper was a dagger. Tonight, though, he told himself he would try. Perhaps this mysterious woman would see past the chair, past the broken body, and glimpse the man he once was. But when the moment came, it all fell apart. Across the table sat Dr. Clara Hayes, a renowned neurosurgeon. She was beautiful, elegant, and intelligent. For a moment, Adrian thought fate had given him a chance. Yet within minutes, he noticed the tension in her smile, the polite but distant way she stirred her drink, the glances she cast at his wheelchair when she thought he wasn't looking. She had been told nothing about his condition, and the shock in her eyes was clear. Adrian tried to ease the tension, making small talk, telling stories from his past, but the more he spoke, the more her discomfort grew. At last, Clara leaned forward and whispered words that burned into his soul. "I'm sorry, this isn't what I expected. I can't do this." She stood abruptly, leaving behind her half-finished glass of wine and a man whose heart had already been shattered too many times. The restaurant fell silent as she walked out, heels clicking against the marble floor, while Adrian sat frozen, humiliation flooding his chest. The doctor was gone, and with her departure, so was the fragile hope he had dared to nurture. That night, back in his penthouse overlooking the glowing city, Adrian sat by the massive windows, staring at his reflection. He no longer saw a man, only the broken pieces of one. His mind replayed Clara's rejection again and again, fueling the bitter voice inside him that told him he was unlovable, unworthy, and destined to spend the rest of his life alone. His empire meant nothing, the billions in his bank account couldn't buy what he wanted most, someone to look at him and not see the chair first. He clenched his fists until his nails dug into his skin, rage and sorrow warring within him. Memories of the accident haunted him. It had been raining that night, the road slick, the headlights blinding. A truck had skidded, metal twisted, and his car flipped. He remembered the crushing weight, the sirens, and the cold voice of the doctor later, "You'll never walk again." That sentence had destroyed more than his body, it had stolen his identity. Adrian had tried everything since. The best therapists, the most advanced treatments, but nothing worked. And now, even when he dared to reach for something as simple as love, it was snatched away cruelly. The next day at work, Adrian kept his mask in place. His employees respected him, feared him even, for his sharp mind and ruthless decisions. No one saw the broken man underneath. But inside, he was crumbling. He cancelled meetings, shut himself away in his office, and when his assistant asked if he wanted to try another date, he snapped at her. Never again, he told himself. Never again would he put himself through the humiliation of hope. Yet destiny has a way of writing stories that no one expects. That same afternoon, while reviewing endless financial reports, Adrian received an unusual email. It was from a woman named Emily, a freelance writer who claimed she had been asked to interview him for an upcoming magazine piece about resilience in leadership. Normally, Adrian would ignore such requests, but something about the message was different. It was warm, human, not written with the cold professionalism he was used to. She had even written, "I admire your strength, not just as a CEO, but as someone who continues despite hardships." Those words made him pause. Could she truly mean them, or was it another shallow attempt at sympathy? Still, against his better judgment, he agreed to meet her later in the week. But that night, alone again, the memory of the blind date haunted him. He replayed the scene over and over, the look on Clara's face, the pity in her eyes, the way she couldn't leave fast enough. Adrian told himself it didn't matter, that he was stronger than one woman's rejection. Yet the truth was harsh. It mattered more than anything, because it confirmed his deepest fear, that no one could ever love him again. He sat in his silent penthouse, surrounded by luxury yet feeling poorer than ever before, and the thought crossed his mind that maybe life would never give him another reason to smile. Days later, Adrian wheeled himself into the cafe where he was meant to meet Emily. He expected another shallow interview, another person staring at his chair before speaking to him. But Emily was different. She smiled warmly the moment he arrived, not at his chair, but at him. She asked about his struggles, not with pity, but with genuine curiosity, and listened as if every word he said mattered. For the first time in years, Adrian felt seen, not as a broken man, but as a human being with strength still burning inside him. Their meeting stretched into hours, laughter echoing between sips of coffee. Emily never once looked at him with hesitation or discomfort. Instead, she admired his resilience, his sharp wit, and his honesty. By the time he returned to his penthouse that evening, something strange happened. He caught sight of himself in the mirror and realized his lips had curved, ever so slightly, into a smile. The man who thought he would never smile again had found hope in the most unexpected place, not through a blind date, not through wealth, but through someone who simply saw his soul. Sparkles, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more inspiring stories.